Welcome to BOLDEC e-learning. This video will cover number formatting, which is how you want to display the values you input. The main advantage of number formatting is that you will change the look of the data but without changing the actual values, and we will see about that during this video. So first of all, this is our workbook that we have worked on the previous videos, Excel Beginner. And we have Jay's company still here. So let's start by formatting whichever data that we have already inputted. So let's work first with dates. The default date on Excel is a short date, so it will show you only the number or which day, the month, and the year. So the number of the day, the number of the month, so it's 2nd February 2018. And this is what we call short date. If we go to the home ribbon under the number tab, we have a drop-down list in which we can select preset number formatting. Let's select the long date so that we can see the difference between the short date and the long date. And as you can see, Excel will preview the formatting underneath the preset name. Okay, but let's see it on the sheet. As you can see, I have selected the data and then I went to the drop-down menu and selected long date. This is the long date. So you will see the weekday and then the month and then the day number and finally the year. Let's go back to short date. Let's talk now about currency. The salary of the employees is in a currency. So, okay, I think that I already made it as a currency by mistake before starting the video. So let's assume these were not formatted, they were only general. And this is the format of general. So let's assume that we want to make them as a currency. We want to format them as a currency or as accounting. So we have two types of presets made for currencies. So we have the accounting preset and we have the currency preset. The currency preset will simply give you a dollar sign or whatever currency sign that you want. You can choose it from custom formatting, we'll talk about it later, or you can use the accounting. So you will have the dollar sign right next to the number. So I guess let's say I will make it center. As you can see, the dollar sign will move with it. Let's say we want to decrease the number of decimals. We will use these two, this one to increase the number of decimals and this one to decrease the number of decimals. Let's go now to accounting. So what's the difference between accounting and currency? And the accounting preset, as you can see, the dollar sign will be on the left of the cell, and you cannot manage alignments. So if I make it left aligned or right aligned or centered, it won't matter because accounting will take always the number to be on the right side of the cell and currency to be on the left side of the cell. Similarly, we can decrease the decimal places. One last thing to differentiate between accounting and currency is that accounting, if you will input a 0, it will be displayed as a dash. But if you select it, as you can see, the value is still a 0, but displayed as a dash. Otherwise, if you make it currency instead of accounting, it will be displayed as a 0, as you can see here in the preview. And there it is, it's a 0 with a centered alignment. Let's make it back to accounting and the 3000. Let's select another currency. We can select it from here in the drop-down menu, and we have more accounting formats. Okay, so under accounting, this is format cells. I will show you next how to go directly to format cells using shortcuts. And we have all the currencies in this drop-down menu, and we have the decimal places. You can specify it. And as you can see here, we have a preview of the formatting. Okay, for the sake of explaining ratios, I will add a new column Okay, with let's say the title or the header to be income to outcome, for example, ratio. Enter. As you can see, Excel will take the exact formatting of the previous cell because it has a pattern now that these cells are will be formatting according to the ones they are before. I don't think that we have learned about wrap text tool. If you click on this tool, what will happen is that Excel will increase the height of this row so that the whole input on this cell will fit. So if I will increase the width a little bit, okay, and then I will double click on this one. And as you can see now, I have Excel increased the height accordingly so that everything will be displayed. But we don't want that since it will affect the aesthetics um, of our table. So let me just put in over out ratio, and then okay, Excel will automatically resize the height of this row, and then I will resize the width. So let's say for example 0.2, 0.3, 0.3. As you can see, Excel gave me a preview of autofill, um, and we could have simply pressed enter. But we don't want that because we are creating imaginary values that don't mean anything for the sake of the example. Okay, so how do I change these ratios, which are decimal places, into percentages? I will simply select them and I will come to the preset percent format. And there you go, I have 20%, 30%, 11, 13, and 18. Now let's go to custom formatting. So what is custom formatting? Custom formatting is a way to give Excel a template of whatever format that you want, and then it will automatically format the cells. So how do we go there? How do we insert this template? First of all, we will select the cells that we want to create custom formatting for them. For example, this cell or this cell, I will click on Control 1 and I have the format cells window showing up. Under format cells, we can work with alignments, we can work with fonts, borders, fills. All of these we have seen before. We have seen in the previous videos, but we saw them under the ribbons, not in this window. So for now, we are interested in the custom number formatting. Under category, we will go to custom, and here we can insert the template that we want to customize our text, our input with. I will not insert anything now. I will go to the next sheet that I have created previously so that you can see how to format them. Cancel, we'll go to sheet 2. I have previously made the sheet so that you can see everything in a clear manner. First things first, the zero symbol. The zero is a placeholder for digits, only digits, so it's numbers, and it will add leading zeros wherever you do not have you have a shortage of digits. So for example, if I input 1, 2, 3 and the format is 4 zeros with 1,000 separator, the output will be 0, comma 1, 2, 3. So let's see how I formatted the cell that way. Control 1, it's under custom, and as you can see, I have typed here 0, comma 0, comma 0, 0, 0. Okay, and Excel will preview the output under the sample tab. And then I will click on OK, and the formatting will be applied. So what's the difference between zeros and hashes? A hash will simply will be a placeholder for a digit, but it will not add any zeros. Now let's talk about the interrogation marks. It's a placeholder for digits also, but it will add spaces instead of zeros if we're comparing it with the zero. So as you can see, I have now a space after the decimal, and I have spaces before the 1000, before the one digit. How can I know that? If I make it left align, as you can see, I have space before the one. Similarly, I have space after the decimal part. The asterisk sign, this will repeat characters that are after it until the end of the cell width. In this case, we have repeated the slashes until the cell is filled. So if I increase the cell width, as you can see, more slashes will appear, and therefore Excel is filling up the cell with slashes. Fractions and integer, so it's a combination of integer and fractions. This is the format. You will insert a hash or a zero or an interrogation mark, whatever suits the formatting that you want to work with the space, and then the fraction formatting. 123.45 will turn out to be 123 and 9/20. Okay. Finally, or this is the most important part because we use it a lot. So how to insert text after the digits that you have inserted. So for example, this should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you can see, Excel will directly insert the pieces per hour and the comma, 1000 comma separator on the spot. Okay, let me show you how this is done. Control 1. As you can see, this is the template over here. I have the quotation marks with the text inside, and I have the digit placeholders right before it. Next, we have the @ The @ symbol is a placeholder for text input. So not text input, yani it will include text. So before, if I will input a text here, for example, the word bad, it will not format it because it doesn't recognize it as a digit. So the hash is a placeholder for a digit, not for text. So if I put back digits, as you can see, it will format it. Well, here, when I put the @ sign, it will take the input whether it's a text or a digit. So if I put digits, 1, 2, 3, for example, it will be the score is 1, 2, 3. And if I put text bad, the score is bad. So the @ is a symbol for, let me call it as a placeholder, as a universal placeholder. Now let's go to colors. So the brackets with the color inside is how you will change the font color of the input. So Control 1, as you can see, I have red in the brackets, and then I have next to it the number formatting that I want to apply to numbers. Similarly, for example, I can put blue. Let's write blue and OK. And as you can see, my text is now blue. So this format doesn't apply anymore because it should be blue. Let's change it to blue. Okay. Finally, we will talk about date formatting. So how do you format dates? Formatting dates is a big field. You can format them in many ways, but I will show you the basics. So Control 1, and here we come to the template. Let me erase this. Okay. Excel understand dates as numbers. So number 1 date is the 1st of January 1900. Okay. Date 2 or number 2 is 2nd of January 1900, and so forth. So whatever date that we have there, as you can see, when I remove the template, it will take it as general, and we will see the number. Let's go to date formatting. D is for date, M for month, and Y for year. So if I put double D, it will be the number and the month. So it's the 4th. Let me put a slash, for example, and let me put double M. It's the 4th of February, and then a slash, and then YY 2018. Let's say I want 2018 as a full number, 2018. So I will simply add two more y's or one more y. It's the same. Let's say that I want February written as Feb or FEB, which is the short version of February. I will add one more M, it's Feb. And if I want February in full, I will add one last M to be the full February. Let's say that I want the weekday, so I will simply add, let me add a space here, and then I will put 1, 2, 3. This is the short of Sunday, and 4 to get the full Sunday. Okay, and this is okay. And as you can see, the date is now formatted. So let me change the format here. So we have quadruple D and then double D's and then quadruple M and finally the Y's. So under custom formatting, we have a tool that will simplify the usage of loops or the if loops that we will talk about later. So instead of writing if the number is positive, apply this format, and if it's negative, apply the other format, Excel gave us the ability to use this tool very simply. So while inputting format under the custom formatting, okay, I have already inputted that. Let me delete it and then we'll write it together. I will write 4 templates separated by semicolons. Okay, so the first template will be for any positive input. The second template will be for negative input. The third template will be for zero input or the digit 0, and the final input, the final template will be for text inputs. Okay, so let's start with doing that. Let me put, for example, $sign and then 0.00 with the word surplus. Okay, and then a semicolon, very important. Then $sign, negative 0.00, and then shortage. Okay, then I will close the quotation mark, and then semicolon. Let's say for the 0, simply it will show me 0. I will put the hash so that I have no leading zeros. And then finally, if I input a text, I want Excel to give me additional text. Wrong input, close the quotation marks, and then the @ sign so that Excel will show me the input, the wrong input. Okay, and okay to apply the format. So if I write here 1, 2, 3, I will have the template for positive inputs, which is the first template. If I put minus 1, 2, 3, I will have the second template, which is for negative inputs. If I put 0, I will simply have nothing. And finally, if I have any text here, blah blah, for example, and I have wrong input, blah blah. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you and take care.